see, I think the relationship with a mother is so profound. It's because we come to know ourselves through the eyes of our mothers. And how they see us is often how we see ourselves. And in essence, that is a relationship of Rahman. It's remarkable how the mother knows what to do and to tend to the child, especially in those really early days. But it's not a perfect relationship. It's a relationship often as much of learning and growth for the mother as it is for the child, and the mother does as she was mothered very often. And so, although, and I know this so much in my work, that no matter how troubled that relationship is, underneath it, there is love. But so many wounds, so many shortcomings in life, so many complications can sometimes obscure that. And so one of the things I've really learned is that the state of a mother is so powerful, not just for a young child, but for us as we grow throughout our lives. If our mothers are in a balanced and healthy state, it helps us so much in our sense of being in the world. And so it's really interesting in family therapy. So often, even when you're working with, young adults, their primary issues are to do with early experiences in their childhood. And I don't want to blame mothers because it's such a demanding job. And if you don't have enough support and enough holding yourself, then there can be shortcomings. And so if the mother isn't held in compassion and doesn't hold herself in compassion, then we also learn, through our regulation with the mother, not to do that for ourselves. And partly, you said you wanted to talk as well about the wider social structure. Partly it's because society doesn't hold motherhood always in that compassion. I think traditional societies had a much more intuitive and deep understanding about the meaning of the transition into motherhood. So I was listening to some talks recently on trauma, and one of the presenters, Gabor Mate, was sharing that in indigenous tribes in America and in Canada, that when a woman was pregnant, if somebody had negativity and stress, they would be told to avoid being in her presence because that would be absorbed by her and would be absorbed by the child. In Pakistan, where I come from, and in a lot of other traditional cultures, when the baby is born, there's 40 days of period where the mother is taken care of and nourished and nurtured. So compassion was built into the way society or the community or family came around the mother. And I think in the current context we're in, there's so much drive and so much masculine energy in a way that actually it's not honored as the sacred and really important transition and birth channel that it is. And so, the state of the mother no doubt impacts the state of the child. But I want to add to that, when you say about idealism, is that, in parallel, there is the relationship with God, who in a sense is, ultimately the cosmic mother, because he's the ultimate source of creation, and Rahma, as Khadim, was so nicely describing. And so both the mother and the child are held in that Rahma, which is always available to us. And maybe, if I look at my own life, maybe, it's the shortcomings that we experience in life that actually lead us to seek God and our relationship with God and our ultimate nourisher and sustainer. So our nafs is often, our egos are often shaped through the relationship with our mother, but our essential self is really we only come to know it through our relationship with God.